Drags traffic jam. Morning. Who are we? Who are we? We are, I suppose, an anomaly. Bunch of organisms trying to work out why the hell we're here. So who are we? We are trying to shed a little bit of light on the way that we as humans use the resources on the planet. If you walk into the Mungo Mill and you're posed with the question, who are we or who am I? And we do our job well enough to help you to understand ultimately that you're a consumer and you're watching the manufacturing of that product that you're going to consume. I'm hoping that it will allow a little bit of introspection that will prompt an individual to question what they're using or how they're using it or why they're using it. Consumption shouldn't be therapy, it should just be about practical value that it brings to your life. That can be because something is beautiful, but it mustn't just be for the sake of buying something.
I've always known that I don't fit into corporate. I've never liked to sit in meetings and hear waffle. That was me in Kenton.
Is this the signage that was on Old Mick when you guys took it over?
We put a ladder up and Jan wrote pottery and weaving, and then down the side of the building she wrote studio, because written underneath there originally was antiques and curiosities. My motive was to do it in a gentle and sustainable way, empower people if I can. And live a life of quality. So that was really the philosophy I would say that I've always had.
When I first got involved, Stuart created these weaves. He had quite limited resources with his colours, but his designs were a lot more technical. So you would get stuff that was just so unique, and I think that that's basically what really put Mungo on the map.
No idea.
Elliot doesn't work in dates of order.
No, it's not there.
No, 2016, that's not that long ago. He was very secretive about this. It's quite interesting.
This guy.
That's now been through the mill, right?
That's them.
Through the wash. I think that landed in the washing machine in his pocket.
What Tessa and myself have inherited in this business goes back to the late 1970s when our father first came to South Africa. The philosophy that he developed around production and quality is what we strive to build on.
We've been here 42 years or more, and the environment that we live here and the Old Nick village, it's a living thing. And it's a beautiful place to be, to go to work. It's very interesting that the older you get, the more you start thinking about where you've come from and how it was. And I often think it's all to do with my parents. And it's all to do with, I will do what they never did. I was not inspired at all with what had happened in my early years. I didn't want that life. It was boring, you know. It just didn't have a swing to it. Creativity, it's everything for me. No, it is. It's everything. I'm not artistic, but I'm creative. If you live a life of, climbing the highest mountain, paddling down the longest river, that's been a creative life. So you don't have to be able to have a good eye-to-hand coordination. You have to be good at something, but perseverance and determination. I'm very determined, always have been. I think that's probably what's got me through a lot of the stuff. Yeah.
The saying is it's like running down a hill and you can't stop yourself, just the momentum is just taking you. I think that's kind of where we're at the moment.
Well, how do we change assumes that you believe we should. And I think we need to, in order to be happier, I think being honest with ourselves is how we change, and being as transparent and open about who we are and what we do, and entering into a clear dialogue around the issues rather than hiding from them, which is in some ways easier. You stay strong in your convictions and your values of how you feel you're doing something, and knowing that what you're doing, and not just knowing, like thinking that you're doing it right, or telling yourself a story about how you're doing it right, but knowing that this is how you feel you should do it. I mean, we're not even close to doing that yet, it's not that at all. But we want to set a new sort of benchmark, particularly within production. So yeah, we have a beautiful building that we can work in. I think this is where, in this format, things should be made. It's not always practical, and obviously there's 7 billion people on the planet, or 8, and whatever it might be now. And so we have to feed that, but in our own way we want to try and create a template for how it maybe could be done a little bit differently.